Yes, Armando.
Good morning, Armando. This is Andre.
Yes, sure. I can help you.
Yes, I got your email this morning regarding the public meeting on February 28th in the afternoon. Yes, but all I received from you in this email was the notice.
Right.
Yeah, I need the agenda.
Yeah, that's all we have for that. You have to speak to Alvia. According to her, there was no agenda because there was no specific items discussed. But I would have to get you over to her to get details on that. That's all I have. Is that something you want me to do? Get you over to her?
Sure. Yeah, I'd like to speak to her.
Yeah, let me get her for you, sir. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is Alvia Schuler. May I help you?
Good morning, Ms. Schuler. This is Andre.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we haven't actually interacted directly before, but we've spoken on the phone in the past. I'm sure you know who I am. I just had some questions about the afternoon meeting on February 28th with the police union and the city of Horizon City.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm having problems with the answers I'm getting from Armando. He's saying that you don't have an agenda for the meeting.
It's a posting, sir. The reason for the actual items, it's described in the actual posting, and the reason for it is we don't know what the officers are going to be bringing to the table until they do. So that discussion happens when they come into the meeting. So just like this last meeting that we just had, you notice that we didn't really have a specific topic. They have to tell us what it is that they want to negotiate. It's a negotiations meeting. So it's not an actual pre-planned meeting with agenda items and that type of thing. So the posting is put on there so anybody who wants to join, the public can join the meeting if they'd like, and the negotiations will happen at the table. That's how we do it. And that's how we've always had it since 2000. I want to say we started negotiating in 2017, maybe.
Okay, so in regards to negotiations with a union, you're saying that the police department didn't have a union before 2017?
That's correct. They just unionized.
Okay, and
it wasn't a union before. No, that's correct. They took it to the voters. The voters approved the unionization, I guess, the CBA to be created, the collective bargaining agreement.
Okay, I understand. Now, did you or anyone else take any type of minutes of the meeting?
Yes, sir. Once they're done, like right now, I'm typing the information. So once they're done, I type an overview of the minutes of the meeting is what I do. Like today, today I'll type an overview of what was discussed. In this particular meeting, we discussed when we're going to meet, and that's basically it. So that's what I'll type up. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is going to be a question which there's a 500-pound elephant in the room. It's going to be an obvious question, but I'll ask it anyway. I think you know what I'm getting at here. But was there a quorum of the governmental body at that meeting?
No, sir, there was not.
Okay. Can you give me an answer as to why? Because I believe that that's the law.
No, sir, this is not a city council meeting. This is not a meeting of the council. This is a collective bargaining agreement meeting. And the only people that are in this meeting are going to be the city attorney, representatives from the CBA, our police chief, myself, just for taking notes, and representatives from the CBA. That's it. But it's not a city council meeting.
Okay, but at the end of the meeting, I saw the city attorney, or at least who I believe was the city attorney. It was a middle-aged female.
Yes.
Yes, I believe that's the woman, and she has short brown hair. Yeah.
Correct.
So she signed a document, or more than one document, with a man that had a white beard, who I believe was the leader of the union. He flew in from East Texas. He had a blue shirt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I don't know the name of that man, but I put two and two together from the way people interacted with him that he must have been the union leader.
Yes.
And so Sylvia, the attorney, she signed documents. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out and I'm focusing on that is because I believe that's what the state of Texas, the Texas Attorney General, would consider to be a deliberative action. Or maybe I'm not using the right word, but signing those documents is something that is a formal procedure that the government of Horizon City, Texas is taking. I believe that the city council has to be present with a quorum to do stuff like that.
No, sir. She didn't sign anything. Nothing was agreed upon. What documents were you talking about? Nothing was agreed upon at this meeting. She didn't sign any documents regarding an outcome of anything. That there was nothing was. No, sir. I don't know what documents you're talking about.
Honestly, I'm going to sound like a crazy person because I don't know what documents I'm talking about either. All I saw is I saw the woman sign stuff, and
it could have been maybe for, if she did, it was probably for another item or something. Had nothing to do with the CBA, sir. We did not have any discussion or action items at this meeting, and there won't be, other than just discussions regarding what's going to be put on the budget going forward in June. Once something is agreed upon, then it'll be taken to council once everything is decided on.
And before we go any further, of course, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, before we go any further, I'd like to just point out, I believe that when you say the word action items, you're referring to specific items that will be mentioned on an agenda, right?
There's going to be discussions where they're going to request, say they're going to request pay raises. They're going to request whatever it is that they request. So those items, once they're noted, we will put them on the city council agenda at a future date. But no, that nothing here will be agreed upon or signed off on. You know where our agendas are at, right? As far as city council agendas on the city website.
I do not. I'm not very familiar with stuff like that. I just deal with open records with the police department.
Sure. I get it. Okay.
But you're saying they're on the website, all the agendas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, they are. The agendas are. Yes, this one here is a posting. So this is just a notice of a meeting. So we post it out there in case anybody from the public would like to attend a meeting. Armando should have sent you the link of where these postings are. They're going to be in the city website, they're going to be in the police website, and they're going to be on our bulletin boards.
I'll double check what Armando sent me, but I believe he only just sent me a copy of the notice which Casey Valdez had posted on February 15th.
Correct, on the police department website, and he should have sent you the link. If not, I'll have him do that for you.
Okay, now in regards to the notice, and I'm definitely no expert, so you're probably going to have to correct me if I'm wrong or teach me something if I don't know something. But I believe that the notice, because as we both know, the Texas Open Meetings Act is a very large, complex body of law with 1,000 different rules. But I believe the notice itself, there's even rules regarding the notice itself before you even talk about the agenda, before you talk about taking minutes, before you talk about anything. The notice itself has to be very specific. It can't just be an overly broad description of, old business, new business. You see what I'm saying? Like when it just says collective bargaining agreement meeting, doesn't it have to be more specific than that? Doesn't it have to say like negotiating pay rates, negotiating health and benefits, negotiating work hours?
This here was our initial meeting. We did not have an agenda. We just needed to meet to kick off the meeting itself. Future meetings, if we have a specific item, then it will be noted on there for future meetings. Right now, this initial meeting did not have specific line items to be discussed. But
all right, so maybe you can't answer this, but do you happen to know if anything at all was discussed? Like what did they discuss? Because actually I sat there.
Only future meetings. You were there for the whole meeting, so only future meetings were discussed. That's it. So that we're going to have a meeting. Our next meeting is going to be on a Tuesday, the 12th, March the 12th, at the same time. And then we're going to have another meeting on the 18th, and then we have another meeting scheduled for the 25th if we need to. So right now we have one for March the 12th, March the 18th, and March the 25th. That's it.
Okay, but you're saying that at each one of these upcoming meetings, the public doesn't know exactly what's going to be discussed.
Yes, sir. They're being invited to attend these discussions. The CBA normally does not give you the topics that they're going to discuss. They just bring them to the table. I don't know if you've ever attended a negotiations meeting, and that's what it's all about. If they do give us a topic in advance, which they normally don't, but if they do, we will put it on for the public to know in advance, absolutely. Otherwise, they're just encouraged to attend the meetings if they so would like. So we post it so that people can attend these meetings. And the negotiations happen at the table. That's how unions do this.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the unions like doing it that way, but I'm trying to make sure, regardless of how the union feels about it, I'm trying to make sure that it's in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay, and the reason I come with my camera is not just for my own personal reasons, but also because,
absolutely,
right? But I understand exactly what you're saying is that the public should be invited to come, but as we both know, the reality is most people don't have the time and money to make it because they have to be at work. So 2 p.m. in the afternoon, is not a time that most people can come. Luckily, I'm able to.
Yes, sir.
Depending on the day.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I would say that even at a normal city council meeting in the evening, a lot of people still can't come because they have to take care of their kids or whatever reason,
Yes, sir.
So,
and we're streaming
that's,
yes.
Yeah. Actually, now that we're on that topic, I hate to be kind of a scatterbrained guy here, but
Yep.
And I'm not making any demands. I'm not telling you guys how to run the city, but I noticed that the city of Socorro, and you guys do a lot of great work in a lot of different areas of government administration, but I noticed that the city of Socorro, they have a really excellent setup of recording their meetings. They have a YouTube channel and all that. And yes. I was just curious if the city...
Yeah, we're actually working on that. And come May, we already purchased a software to do something very similar to that, to make it even better for the public to be able to attend our meetings. So we purchased the software where it's going to be live streamed, and it's a really good setup that we should be putting in place come May. So yes, we're working on it. Understood.
I'm really glad to hear that, and
yes, sir.
Let me just tell you right up front, because I've already heard complaints from certain cities, because there's always complaints, we know that, but and this isn't even just dealing with city administration. This just deals with YouTube videos in general, or just videos online in general. But of course, YouTube is, as of 2024, YouTube is the king of the internet video. And the point I'm trying to make is that even if you have just mediocre video quality, make sure that your audio is crystal clear, because if you don't have good audio,
right,
that's where the biggest complaints are coming from people at the city of Socorro meetings that I've heard from time to time, and I agree with them, is that sometimes it's hard to hear the city council members for one reason or another. And so audio is like, if you guys invest in anything else, focus on the audio. Yeah.
Got it. Yes, sir. I sure will. We'll make sure that.
Because.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting, but the one last thing I just want to say in regards to that was one thing to keep in mind. Not only is audio important just because people naturally gravitate towards high quality audio in general, but also because of the life in the 2020s with all of our smartphones and our busy lifestyles. A lot of people, they'll put their phone on the charger and they'll put their phone attached to their smart TV or a Bluetooth speaker or in their car as they're driving around, and they don't even watch the actual phone. They just listen, like like a podcast. So that's why audio is so important. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, I hear you. That's why we're working on that one, and investing some money into some good software, because ours could use some help. Absolutely. So yes, we are definitely working on it. But we hear you. But thank you for the feedback, because we definitely could use. If something's not working, we definitely want to work on it and make it better. Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, and I didn't want to. I want to choose my words carefully. I didn't want to come off as adversarial. Like I'm not saying something.
No, we get it.
Yeah, I was just trying to make a suggestion. I'm not saying that you guys aren't doing a good job in other areas, but.
No, understood. And again, we're working on it. But any time that anything or something does not work, or please give me a call. You know my number, and I'll be happy to look into it or tweak it or do better, because we can definitely always do better. Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm glad that you said that you hear me. No pun intended there. And I appreciate you being patient and taking my constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. And switching gears again, I hope I'm not. I know you're a busy woman, so I'm not going to keep you on the phone all day. But switching gears again, I just want
a meeting here in 1 minute.
Oh, you do? You do?
But go ahead. Yes, sir. I have a Teams meeting that I need to log into. But yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go in just a few seconds. But the last thing I want to leave you with, and I will be making future phone calls about this because this is an ongoing issue. But the last thing I just want to leave you with is that I believe, and I'm no expert, but I believe that regardless of how the union wants to operate and regardless of how the city believes they're in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, I believe that the notices you're posting are not in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and that they need to be more specific and that they're too broad.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Again, no, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to let you finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the last thing I want to leave you with is that I believe before we talk about anything else, because I think there are other issues, but let's just do things one at a time, and I know you have to go, so let's just leave it the topic on this as we get off the phone is that I believe the notices that you guys are posting are too broad and that they're not in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. They need to be more specific. That before the union comes to have discussions, they need to pre-plan what they're going to discuss. That's the whole concept of the Texas Open Meetings Act is that people can't just come and discuss whatever they want. They have to pre-plan what they're going to discuss, and they can only discuss the items they plan.
I'll get with our city attorney in reference to it and make sure that we're not missing something here. But I'll talk to Sylvia in reference to it. I sure will.
Yes, ma'am, because I don't even have to be a lawyer to tell you this, but one of the foundational principles, and I know you just recently went to open meetings training, one of the most foundational principles of the law is that the meeting has to be pre-planned on an agenda so that the public knows what's going to be discussed before they even arrive. So there's no way you could tell me that those meeting notices are in compliance because they are just way too broad. They don't describe anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I know you're a busy woman. I'm going to let you go, and we'll talk in the future.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.